Love ya.
Hey everyone, welcome to the shit show.
Good evening. Good morning. Wait, I fucked it up. Good morning. Wait, what do I say?
I didn't know there was an order to it. I thought it was just
Good evening, good morning, good day, good night. Whenever you're listening to this podcast, we're happy to have you here.
We are, and I would like to start this episode off with gratitude.
Oh, okay.
With gratitude, thank you for the support, the amount of support that everyone has shown Elliot. I appreciate it. And I would also like to give an update really quickly on my hummingbird feeder that I used. Used your link and I purchased one. And I have it right out here outside my office window. And I need to know what the facts are getting these hummingbirds to the hummingbird feeders, because I will be totally honest with you. I've never seen a hummingbird near the vicinity of my home prior to putting that out there. And it's like they must have smelled it from miles away. And I have hummingbirds at my hummingbird feeder all day long.
Love that for you so much.
And I first started with ruby-throated hummingbirds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we recently picked up a new species of hummingbirds,
What kind?
which is, two species. So I have three. Anna's hummingbird. Wait, is that a type of hummingbird? I believe it is. A rock dove, and then ruby-throated hummingbird. Can you say hi?
Critter! Oh my God, what a lovely surprise! What's up, Creed? What's up, Romello? Whatever you're going by these days?
When are you going to go to my house?
When am I coming to your house? Oh, when are you coming to my house is the question. Well, you need to start asking your mom, say, Mom, bring me to Becky's house.
I asked you and we didn't go there yet.
And what?
I asked her, and we didn't go there yet.
That's mean, right?
Don't fuel this. Well, we'll go soon. I just got to plan it, okay? Okay.
Bye, love you.
He said, love you. So now we have three types of hummingbirds. Like I was saying, Anna's hummingbird, ruby-throated hummingbird, and a rock dove. And they're just so cool because, and I don't remember them being as small as they are.
So tiny.
My grandmother had hummingbirds all the time at her house, and maybe because I was younger, they didn't look so small to me. So now as an adult, when I see them outside my window, they're literally this big.
So I just looked this up, okay? It says that ruby-throated hummingbirds are common hummingbird species in Delaware. Rare or occasional visitors is the Anna's hummingbird. So it's an accidental visitor. It's native to the West Coast. Rare appearances on the East are noteworthy.
The video. So
you're so special. What was the other one?
I know. And the other one was a rock dove.
I don't see that on here. What about a rock dove? Is that not a hummingbird?
No, it is.
The rock dove.
My regular hummingbird feeder, I don't know if it gets the same amount of traction. Yeah, and I did see ants, and so that one's like a little iffy. But no, the rock dove is definitely...
Yeah, it says here that the rock dove, it's also known as the common pigeon. It is not native to Delaware or North America at all, but it is a naturalized species that is now widespread and common in cities, towns, and rural areas across the U.S., including Delaware.
Well, the rock dove was here yesterday. The Anna's hummingbird was here 5 hours ago, and the ruby-throated hummingbird was here 7 minutes ago. The ruby-throating hummingbird has had 142 visits to my bird feeder. Yeah,
the ruby-throated is the most common.
But it doesn't have a ruby throat.
Yes, it does. Yours doesn't look like... Oh, that's not a ruby-throated hummingbird. Or maybe it is. That looks like a black chin hummingbird.
Well, it says maybe the ruby throat hasn't come in yet. I mean, I've seen them with the ruby throat, but that one specifically, maybe it's a baby. Maybe it doesn't have a ruby throat yet.
Look at...
Yeah, I've seen that one. So this one might not be mature or something. You know what I mean?
We need to get a hummingbird expert on the show.
Spencer Pratt. I'm like, it hasn't reached maturity, okay?
That is so freaking funny. I'm very happy that you are enjoying the hummingbird as much as I am.
No, it's right outside my window, so it's nice when I'm like on a call and I look out and there's like a freaking hummingbird. And I have a hummingbird tattoo also.
Should I get one? Wow.
Because of I told you, like, it just reminds me of my grandmother. So I had gotten that, oh God, back in 2014, maybe somewhere around there, 14, 15. And so it's a full circle moment for me, you know?
Yeah, Leah and I were sitting outside. Any morning that I get when I get some time with Leah is just so nice because like our schedules are kind of always opposite or chaotic. She really likes to sleep. But I got back from the gym and she was up and I said, "Do you want to join me outside for a cup of coffee?" And so we like had a morning outside. She made us yogurt bowls and we like looked over and we saw the hummingbirds and it was just so cute.
I
And then
love
I was
that.
like, "We're gonna have so many
There's one right now. Woo! Oh, I didn't get it fast enough. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
And then I said we're gonna have so many mornings out here and days out here because I'm gonna get gates for the deck so that we can get it off completely so that a kid can hang out without us having to like chase him around.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that's great.
Crazy.
The kids haven't really seen I don't think that they have as much interest in the hummingbirds as we do as adults, but oh, I think Critter Crat wants to show me. Netflix, thank you, shout out to Netflix, has sent Critter Crat a package, How to Train Your Dragon, and with this PR box, I believe it was Netflix, it might have been the movie itself, How to Train Your Dragon, I don't know, sent him the toys.
There's like a live action version.
You want to show her Toothless? Go ahead, hold it up.
Oh my, look how cool that is. Hold it up. Wow. Is that cool or what?
Is that cool?
Yeah.
So he's really excited about the toy. He's been playing with it since they sent it. So
I want to watch that movie.
Should y'all watch it together? He said, yeah. All right, he's gonna go play with it. How's Leah feeling? We're getting closer. How's she feeling? I need an update.
Leah is feeling good. There's no update to give. She's still pregnant. No baby. She did have lightning crotch. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
She thought she was going into labor. Have you seen the news on Fletcher?
What's Fletcher?
Oh, Alessandra, you know who Fletcher is, yeah?
Okay. Is that a person?
Yeah. Our girl, we need to like have our Gen Zs like give you a rundown of like all the pop culture like at the top of like the month or something, and we just run it through. Like,
Alessandra, will you text the Gen Zs right now and say Becky just asked Kail about Fletcher and she doesn't even know who that is? So
there's a plumbing company out here called Fletcher Plumbing.
Relevant. Wow, how'd you know? Anyways, Carrie Fletcher is a singer-songwriter.
Never heard of her.
She for the past like 5 years probably she's been like building her audience off of like sapphic love, right? Like women, like lesbian love. She was in a relationship with Shannon whatever, I forget, Bever, I forget her last name. They broke up. Shannon got a new girlfriend. She wrote a song about her new girlfriend and it's like Becky's so hot and like this whole thing, right? Like, but she's built her platform. Like she was at Pride last year. She sang at Pride. She built her whole entire platform off of lesbians or women loving women. She dropped a new song yesterday and it's called Boy and it's about her being in a relationship with a boy and all of her merch just says boy on it. And so the queer community is in a civil war right now of like being pissed off that she did this during Pride Month. And then the other half is like, you guys are biphobic. You're trying to biracial, like she's allowed to be dating a boy too. And it's a very interesting debate and debacle.
Has JoJo Siwa weighed in? It's
just a very interesting place to be. We talked about JoJo a little bit. It's not about her dating a man. It's just about her like she was dating someone when that.
Yeah, it was more about like the overlapping of timelines.
Yeah, it was just gross. And like, and also JoJo kind of built her identity off of being a lesbian and not being bi. So it's like, but people have the right to change their mind. It's just a very interesting place to be. But there's also association. I saw something about Fletcher, who also is just now identifying as Carrie, and Fletcher was like, that's the whole thing. Carrie's her first name, about her being a part of some cult too. And the whole like boy merch during like we're not, corporate companies are like not giving us merch this Pride. Like a lot aren't. Karma and Chaos is. So if you haven't gotten your Pride merch yet, shop at kaillowry.com. And so like her merch just being like boy, like it's just, it's an interesting play. She's pissed a lot of people off. and there is a divide.
Okay, and I think that's fair. I think it probably feels like taking several steps backwards. So
yeah, I don't really know how I am. I wasn't like a Fletcher, like I wasn't like a diehard fan before. Her being a queer artist, like I like enjoyed it because like we love a good
Obviously.
queer artist. But here we are. Speaking of queer, I listened to Elliot's episodes yesterday. Bad choice on my part. I was on my way to a funeral, and so I was already emotional. And so I listened to it on my ride there. I called Kail like 10 minutes in. I was bawling my eyes out.
I do want to say that I wish I talked less and I let him talk more.
I think that you are who you are, so that doesn't surprise me. I think that there are going to be more opportunities for him to talk as well. I think the guidance that you gave him was really good. I didn't really honestly feel that because in my mind, I went into the episode it being for both of you, right? Like it was, it was both of your opportunities to kind of talk through everything. And so I didn't really, Isaac's also young, or Elliot, sorry. It's gonna be hard for me.
It's hard for me sometimes to be like,
but he doesn't care. He told me, he's like, I don't care what you call me. Like, you've known me my entire life. So
yeah.
Anyway.
And that's sort of what we talked about too in
Yeah.
the episode is like,
which made me feel better.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, for me, like when people started calling me Kail, I had to listen for people to call me Kail. Now it wasn't Kaylin anymore. So for you, I'm sure it was the same. Like, do people always call you Becky?
Yeah.
Like since you were little?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I was going to say, he's still young, right? Like he's still finding his voice. So I think that you speaking was purposeful and also needed to help guide him a little bit because he's young. He could like his words kind of are repetitive a little bit, and which is fine, right? Like he's finding his voice. So I think it was just needed. It was beautiful. I cried a bunch of times through it. And I just like couldn't like stop but think of like, wow, like I have a son that is going to be around someone like him that like gets to like have that.
Stop. I haven't cried today, so I don't want to cry today. I don't want to cry today.
But you know what I mean though? Like I'm fortunate that my son is going to be exposed and be around such loving people, and him being one of them is like really meaningful to me.
And I have always felt that way about you, like my kids getting to be around you. So it's a huge compliment to me, not to me, but it's a huge compliment for the situation, or I don't even know how to word it. Like, I'm not saying like I'm being complimented. I'm saying like, it's a compliment that you want to be around, like you want your son to be around my son.
Yeah. I think that it just goes to show too, and I don't want to like speak too much onto this because there's separate topics, right? Like I think that there is some type of irony that this has been planned to come out for a while, but I think people needed to see like what kind of kids you are raising and like the love and care that you're giving to them, because obviously with everything that has come out recently and just that has been the hardest part for me, is because I know your kids and like I know the love that is in that house that they're being raised in. And so I feel like this is just a glimpse for people to understand like why it feels so upsetting that like people question your like you as a mother. Get it. No one here agrees with Kail's dating life. So I'm on your side.
I don't even know that I do. Like,
yeah,
y'all think
like
that
we get it. Like I get it. We get it. But dude, I've said this so many fucking times on this podcast. Anytime I get the opportunity to be in Kail's presence at her house with her kids, it makes me want to have a million fucking kids because of how much love her kids show her. And like they are so, even Kail herself, like she is so present with them when she is with them, and you guys don't get to see that. And I know that it sounds like I'm just fucking blowing smoke up her ass, but I promise you that is not the kind of person that I am. I wouldn't have people around me that like I would question like their morals and their values too.
And that's the thing too, is like people don't want to be friends with bad moms. So it's not even about enabling anybody. It's like, I don't want to be friends with someone who's not a good mom because I don't align myself with that. Yeah. So for me to say, oh, you know, people are enabling Kail. Well, I think it's two separate conversations. People are allowed to stay my friend and not agree with me, right? Like that's just a part of life. But being a bad mom, I think is like nobody wants to be friends with someone that's a bad mom. I also just like to say, if you run it back a couple months, you literally asked me, did I train my kids to sit at the table? Did I train my kids to do this was like months before that. So like
Yeah. And I've been saying this for months now too. I spent a week, not even a full week, with Kail and her kids. It was during the school week. I was exhausted when I got home from all of the driving that she does. It was 3 days of driving 5 or whatever, how many kids, 3 kids, 4 kids to different schools in the morning, sitting in waiting lines because the timing is off by a little bit. Then after school, picking up kids, making sure that they're getting food, dropping them kids off. Maybe one wants to go home, another one wants to go to a practice, another one. I was exhausted. I spent 3 days, 4 days with you. It really pisses me off when women are successful and they are discredited for their success because it takes them away from their children. When like normal people like myself, Leah, Alessandra, like we are all in a position where like we won't be as active or present in our kids' lives. Well, maybe not because I work from home, but because of the work, like normal people work 9 to 5s. Like normal people are working. And so to say that you can't drop your kid off or you can't be at practice discredits you from being a good mom is just a slap in the face to so many mothers that are working 3 shifts or working 3 jobs just to keep food on the table. Like it really, like that really fucking bothers me because like there's so many people in this world who work tirelessly day and night just to keep their kids alive, and like they're also struggling with not being present. And so when you have someone that's discrediting someone as a mother because of simple and small things like that, like not showing up to practice, not showing whatever that is, I think about the everyday people that might hear that and they're gonna feel like, are they a bad mom? Is that how people are looking at them? And that's just not fucking true.
And with that being said, I know that a lot of people ask me how I manage having 7 kids, and there's no way I can bond with all of them individually, and there's no way that I can be there for all of them. And I think whether you have 1 child or you have 7 children, so many people we all have mom guilt. Every single one of us has mom guilt, whether it's 1 child or 12. But the second part of that is whether you have 1 child or 12 children, I would venture to say that most working parents relying on either other people or busing systems or neighbors, teammates, whatever, to get you to practices, to sports, to theater, to whatever that looks like. And it's just interesting to me to see how the mentality shifts between a mother's role and a father's role. Like a father goes on a business trip, that is his job. That's how he provides for the family. It's not okay.
Fucking preach.
Do you know what I mean?
Hell yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, brother. What do you say?
Hell yeah, brother. When did things change? You'll know this. When did things change? I would be pissed if my parents were at my athletic practices growing up. Parents didn't go to athletic practices when I was younger. Like they went to the game, maybe. My dad never went to anything. I never questioned him as a father for doing that, but like you didn't go to practices.
No, I think maybe the age, but even because I didn't play sports when I was 7 and 8 years old, so I can't speak to that. But I mean, I know that there are parents, and this is no disrespect to them, so I hope none of them hear this and get upset with me, but there are parents on Lux's team that sit in the car.
Yeah, as they should. That's what
I don't give a like.
I feel like that's what I'll do.
I've never questioned any of the teammates' parents for sitting in the car. Like you're there. I don't give a shit. Like your kid is where they need to be. If anything, I'm probably doing my child a disservice.
Yeah.
Sitting on the sideline.
Especially because you don't know shit about the sports.
Not going to lie to you. One of the girls on Lux's team yesterday, there was a game yesterday, and the coach was sort of playing with the positions or whatever. I know Lux was forward. He was playing forward. Mm-hmm. Like the position was forward. Put one of the girls on like and I don't know what fucking position it was. And one of the moms goes, you really sound like you know what you're talking about. I said, what is that? Center back? Wing? I don't know what's going on. And she was like, wow, you really sound like you know I said, I'm taking shots in the dark.
She was
here.
gassing you up. That's the kind of friend you don't need.
She's going to hear this and be like, your friend said that I can't. No. And so I'm cracking up because I don't know. And so games, I'm still going to yell I'm going to get it wrong.
Yeah.
But for practices, like I don't need to be yelling things out unnecessarily.
You shouldn't be talking at practice.
It's social hour for soccer moms.
No, yeah, but you shouldn't be telling, like, God, I'm never coaching youth sports. No way.
Parents, that's the problem, not the kids.
Yeah, apparently.
And what's so funny, there's a child on the soccer team named Kail, a boy.
Yeah.
And so when the coach yells Kail, I'm like turning my head. I'm like, look, there's a Lux, there's a Kail, there's an Eli, and Elijah goes by Eli. And I'm like, there is everybody on this field, and it is chaos.
What a great conversation. I'm happy to have gotten that off my chest a little bit. So even though the people that are listening aren't the people that need to hear it.
No, and that's the hardest part too, is like the people that we want to get the message to aren't present, and the people that, you know.
What a time to be alive. I saw an interesting TikTok. It was about two divorced parents, and they had two kids, and instead of making the kids go back and forth between their houses, they went back and forth between the house.
There's a name for it. There's a name for this type of bird nesting or nesting.
Bird nesting?
Yeah, bird nesting. The term bird nesting or nesting is when children of divorce stay in the nest, the family home, while the parents rotate in and out of the home, alternating shifts during their parenting shifts.
Yeah, I found that was the first time I ever saw something like that, and I found it to be very interesting. Leah and I always say that if we ever broke up that I would just move downstairs, so.
I want to say it was Aurora Colpo, maybe, or somebody in the public eye, a public figure of some sort, maybe Kristen Cavalier. I don't know who it was. It was somebody talked about that, and it works until it doesn't, right? Yeah. And I don't know if, for some families that might be the transition that they need, and for some families they're like, okay, we tried it and this was absolute hell. I believe it was also on the show Sex Life at one point, and I don't know if that's the right show that I was watching that it was on, but I would do it.
I could see that. I could see it working until you get into a serious relationship with someone else. Because then you're having a partner that's coming in and out with you.
Well, no. See, I was thinking if it was me and I was doing this, my thought would be we'll use my house as an example. If Elijah is coming and going, it would almost be more like living a double life, because my partner would only be at the other house, would not come and go to this house with me. Yeah. Is more so how I see it going. However, if the kids are not really going to that house, all of the coming and goings with your partner, they wouldn't really be a part of your children's life. And for me, I want to have, whether it's the father or another partner, would want to build a life together. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a real way to do that. And so I think for some families, if it works for a transitional period, that makes sense.
It seems like a good transitional period. Well, it also depends on the breakup and the reason, and how you're going to manage that relationship, how you're going to, if you are on speaking terms. You typically don't have really great relationships after you leave them, so I don't really think that it would work for you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Working from home has proven to be a little challenging for me.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
I said that you don't end relationships well, so
I don't. I don't, and I would love to say that I will work on that, but I hope there are no more to work on. So, one can hope.
Yeah. I have a funny, I don't know if it's a story. A friend of mine reached out to me after we posted our poly episode. She had gotten a divorce, and her new husband is bisexual, and they had been married. They're married for a while, and her new husband had told her and showed interest in hooking up with her ex-husband. And so that had like transmitted into a like throuple relationship, and now they like her and her ex-husband had kids together, so now they all live under a roof, like raising like the family together. Isn't that like fascinating?
And the husband's hookup
Mm-hmm.
was the first husband bisexual as well?
No.
Oh, so the new
Life.
husband was the old husband's gay awakening?
People are so interesting. Like I was like, hell yeah.
Like, because
Happy Pride.
it's so interesting because I feel like it's one of those things where like a lot of straight men, there's like a stigma surrounding gay men, and like
Yeah.
for a straight man to be open-minded enough to do that.
Find it. And this might be a little controversial. I think because of how sexual men are, I think that because of it being like so gay, like of them wanting to like have sex with a dude, that it is just like like what is the word I'm looking for? Like society makes it such a bad thing that it is engraved in their mind to never even think or question it. I think that if we lived in a world where like homophobia never existed, there would be no type of sexuality except for it being super fluid. I think that all men would hook up with men, and like men are such sexual beings that there's no way that like in my mind that's how I feel, but we'll never know.
That is so interesting because I do feel like men are so impulsive and so sexual and so like just on a different level than women, that I've always thought the opposite of what I'm about to say. I think that men, I think that they could just have sex with other men and it wouldn't be as big of a deal, but because
Yeah.
they're inside their own heads about it.
Yeah. And it's like portrayed as like to be such a gross thing that it's embarrassing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I also wonder too, like for men specifically, like that doesn't mean they're in love with that man.
Hell
It
no.
just means it's like a sexual.
It's purely sexual.
So interesting.
Yeah. Like I always think about, this is like my argument always, not to get religious again, but if you dropped 100,000 people off, let's say 10,000, 100,000, if you drop 10,000 people, you wipe their memory of all things that they know from a societal perspective, from religion, from sexuality, from anything. You drop 10,000 people off on an island and they're forming a new place. What are the odds of these people? Like, they're not going to know a God. They're not going to know a religion, but like, they're all going to start hooking up with each other for sure.
It's so interesting because I think like, well, and I think just by nature, like I've always felt fluid my whole life. Like my first crush ever was a girl. So like to me, I've always felt like fluid.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like that is the most natural. So weird. That is so crazy.
Yeah. So that's my thought for today. Have you ever thought about starting a Twitch channel?
What is Twitch? It's like YouTube.
How do you exist in a world? You have 6 boys.
What do we have?
You're right.
Oh, 7 children.
But she has 6 boys, so I was right too. Twitch is like a live like streaming.
For what?
People play video games. Like there's people that do like talk shows on it.
Here's the thing about streaming. And let me say this. I'm not getting on live unless I'm getting paid. I am not talking shit unless I'm getting paid.
That's literally the whole point of Twitch, is to get paid.
But it's gaming and I don't game.
Okay, you're an idiot. Twitch isn't all gaming.
Oh, okay.
But you could play like The Sims if you wanted to and just chat while you were building a Sims, and you can make a lot of money.
If I could make money with whatever you're talking, I have no hand-finger coordination, eye-finger coordination, so there's no way that I'd be able to like game and make any money.
You've never played Sims before?
No. The only game that I ever really played was Mario, and I always was crashing into the wall. I could never stay the course, you know what I mean? And I think that is very symbolic to my real life, is that I'm always just crashing into the fucking wall. I can't ever just be on the track.
Fair.
So I'll get on live and do battles on TikTok if it's going to get me paid.
No.
I'll do lives on anywhere that's going to get me paid. I'm not talking shit for free. I'm not getting on lives for funsies anymore.
No, I think you should start a Twitch channel.
So what is Sims? How would I do that? Do I need finger-eye coordination for that?
No,
Rebecca Hader, I'm going to sue you for emotional distress if you give her any more business ideas. One singular more business idea, I'm going to sue you.
That is Sue you. We're too happy over here. Okay. Okay. Oh my God.
Anyway, I say that all to say when I spent a couple years of my life like always having to have Twitch on in the background, like I would always watch Twitch streamers. That was in my COD days. I used to play COD a lot.
Do you get on the sticks with my exes
I
or?
do get on the sticks, not with your exes,
Oh,
but
okay. Because they also play COD.
when
They
I
all
was there, with they wanted Lux and Creed wanted me to play, or was it Lincoln? They wanted me to play Fortnite with them, and I played a game and I came in second, and they were like hyping me up. It was cool.
It's so funny because like I can't remember a time where I mean I guess maybe Hobby played Call of Duty once in a while, but like while I was with any partners I've had, they weren't gamers, and then now they're all gamers. Do you
It
play
just
Pokemon Go ever?
no, not my thing.
Okay.
I used video games, and every woman on here or whoever is dating a man, whoever is on this listening, I used gaming as a form of therapy. Like I started gaming in 2020 and like it significantly helped my mental health because it was the only time that my mind stopped. Like it stopped overthinking everything. Like I was in a moment with my friends enjoying what it was. Like I stopped thinking about shit that made me want to fucking take a dirt nap. And so like honestly gaming got me through like a really like was a part of what got me through a really hard time. And now anytime I get the opportunity to play, I get to play with friends, and like it gives me time to like get with them and like feel like I'm connecting with them, especially like my guy friends.
Well, I think it's cool because there is definitely a line though, because I
Oh,
feel
for
like
sure.
similar to social media, I think gaming can also be just as like um
Addicting.
addicting. I think that's the right word. I was going to say like draining, but I don't, but like from a mental standpoint, like the people that are addicted to gaming and are on gaming like hours and hours and
Yeah,
hours a
I
day,
agree.
I think that can be really really tricky. And so my kids have to ask to get on, and they don't all have PlayStations. They don't have them in every room. Like they're it's just not something that we don't even do it every day. Because I did notice, and I've talked about this on Coffee Combos, but if for anyone that listens to Karma and Chaos that doesn't listen to Coffee Combos or vice versa, there was a time where like I wouldn't say it was unlimited, but there was a time where like they were always gaming, and I noticed the meltdowns and the triggers and the irritability if they weren't gaming, and it was just for me it was too much as a mom, so we had to shut that down. And so now I mean
I would agree.
they really are not they game sometimes, but it's not every day and it's not for multiple hours a day.
I would agree. I back that 100%. If your husband or partner or girlfriend or whoever it is gaming way too much, I don't support that.
Do you
But
think it's weird?
oh,
Do you think it's weird if late 20s, 30s, 40s, you're on gaming 6+ hours a day?
I mean, I guess, are they making money from it? Are they working outside of those 6+ hours a day? It is. I don't think it. I think weird's the wrong word to use. I think it's concerning. Like,
I think it's concerning if you have a family and you are working and you come home and you're getting on the specifically men, I feel. I
yeah,
know of people who their man is coming home from work and immediately on the game for 6+ hours. So with that being said, they're most likely not.
I mean, I think it's subjective to people's relationships. I could never imagine like not having quality time with Leah, and like that seems like I would not be able to have quality time with her if I was working 9 hours a day and then getting home and gaming 6 hours a day. Like, when do I have time with my wife, who is my best friend? And so I just don't. I think that men sometimes don't value their relationship with their partner enough, and they like do things like that. But I don't know.
Interesting.
Everyone's different.
Yeah, just curious. Do you think hummingbirds come out in the rain? Where do you think they go when they're not eating?
Good question. Do they
How big
work?
do you think their eggs are?
3 inches?
That's
Uh,
bigger than a robin's egg.
no, 2 inches. Maybe one
That's
inch.
bigger than their own bodies.
How big is a hummingbird egg? Oh, it is wild. It is about the size of a jelly bean or a Tic Tac.
I just was wondering because it's pouring out here. It's like just like raining so bad, and obviously there's no hummingbirds at the feeder, and so I was wondering, like, where do they go when it's raining, you know?
I said, I'm asking where do they go when it's raining? Answer like you're speaking to a 5-year-old. Said when it's raining, hummingbirds find a safe, cozy spot to rest, kind of like how you stay inside when it's stormy out.
Where do they
They
go?
fly to a place that keeps them dry, like under big leaves and branches of trees, sometimes even under your porch roof or near a nest if they have one. They sit really still, fluff up their feathers like a warm jacket, and wait for the rain to stop. They're tiny, but they're super smart about staying safe.
I love that.
I
I
said
really
it to
do love that.
respond like it was talking to a 5-year-old. So best way to keep your attention.
I
Apparently.
mean, for me, I need to be responded to like I'm a 5-year-old, so
Yeah. Hummingbird nests are about the size of a golf ball.
that's it.
Wow.
Well, on that note, I do have a little is it karma or is it chaos for this episode. Hello, good morning, and good night is how it starts. I have a bit of a juicy one. I've always known I was bisexual and came out to my parents in high school. I'm a 33-year-old female who's attracted to both, and I feel like I can relate with Kail, but also you, Becky. I've heard your stories throughout the years, and I'm so excited to see you both back together and killing it in your friendship, but also in this world. Congrats on baby Bex. So like I said, I came out as bisexual in high school, and although I had an incredible support system from my parents, I was never able to be myself or explore myself in those earlier years. Becky, I've heard your story about coming out, and even though you didn't know in your younger years, I'm sure it feels incredible to be where you are today. I jumped from relationship to relationship with really toxic men who put me through the ringer until finally at 23, I decided to be done with all men. I finally chose myself. I worked a 9 to 5, hung out with people that respected me and were my ride or dies. I explored places I had never been, and finally at 25, I slept with my first girl. This changed my confidence and my view on life, but also not sleeping with men for 2 years can do that to you. Long story short, today I'm almost 6 years, married to a man that not only respects me in every life decision I have ever made, but we have been able to explore every sexual fantasy together besides one. He's 44, so there's an age gap, and he's only been with 2 women in his lifetime. Short story long, he wants me to be happy in my sexuality, but I'm unsure how to go about that. We have 2 kids together, 3 and 5, and I will never leave his side, but I'm not opposed to bringing another into the mix. Is this karma for not fully experiencing my bisexual side when I was younger, or chaos because I met the man that'll never, or chaos because I met the man that'll give me whatever I want, even when I don't know what I fully want? Appreciate any advice you can give and love listening to you both together and separately. Love you, girls, and thank you for taking the time to read.
I don't think that's karma or chaos. I think that's fate.
I think that that's love, and you met your person who's letting you explore all the things and is open-minded, because a lot of people would not be open to that.
No. If you're on the same page, it's a slippery slope to go down, because falling in love with a woman is so consuming and so emotionally triggering that bringing a third into it. I think that there just needs to be conversations about safe ways to do it. Like, are you looking to bring a third in from a relationship, just from a sexual perspective? If it's just sexual, do not bring in like a gay person, because that starts muddying. Why are you smirking like that?
Because I don't know what you're about to say.
Give Kail a call.
Give Kail a call.
I don't think it's karma or chaos. I think it's cool that you found someone that you can explore those conversations with. It is a slippery slope to go down, just because you never know. Like Kail has said a million times, I think it's easily to fall in love with multiple people. So when you bring in someone and invite them into kind of your world, there's always that chance that it can disrupt it.
Well, so somebody I know, you guys won't be able to figure it out, so I feel fine sharing this, but a girl that I'm friends with said that, she was married to a man and there was a third, a woman. And she said it was great, especially like in the house and stuff too, because like for the kids, it was like a third parent. But when it was done, she was like, I'm literally reading the text messages from her. She's like, when it was done, it was bad. You didn't lose one person, you lost 2, because it was like simultaneous. So that was really hard. She said, going through a divorce and a breakup at the same time, never again. It was a lot being a mom, a stepmom, a wife, and a girlfriend. Alessandra said, my queen.
Yeah, valid. Perfect example, right? Like, it's all fun and games in the beginning, and then when someone gets tired of it, or someone wants to go with the slippery slope. But fun that you're in a position that you can think about exploring it. So I don't think it's karma or chaos.
Now, my next question is, when you're in a polygamist or polyamorous relationship, or you are in a throuple or something like that, should that be normalized?
I think it should, right? Like, I don't think that there is a rule book to like what kids are supposed to be raised as. We're basing our lives off of people that had fucking slaves. Like, there's, you know what I mean? Like, I think that there's respectful ways to do it too. I think that, like, I think toxic relationships, if I say Leah and I brought in a third person into our relationship, right? I would argue that that situation is more healthy than two people that have a toxic relationship, right? Like the arguing, the unhealth, like the fighting, the whatever that is. Like if you're a good person and you're a good parent, your dating life means a lot less than if you are constantly in toxic, like bringing just fighting and arguing and like just toxic situations around your kids.
Okay. It doesn't mean that it's not traumatic at all, but I think
No.
where the focus is more on what's healthy versus what's not. It's still there.
Yeah.
But not
like I dated someone with kids, and like I met her kids right away, like almost right away. But like she was an awful person. But like I didn't bring any toxic nature to those kids' lives, right? Like I was just and like littler kids, like I'm still just a friend. Like I'm just a friend that's around more, right? They're not understanding relationships and things of those sorts. At least that in my mind.
So
What do I know?
My friend from college did that because she got married really young. She got married at 19. So then when they were like 24, they brought another woman into their relationship and they were in a throuple for like 3 years. But the kids were so little, they didn't know that that's what she was. Like they knew that she was like a friend who came around a lot and almost like an aunt figure, but they didn't know. But that doesn't go to say that her removal, because they did eventually break up with her, from their lives didn't affect them. Just like my removal from my friends. I had a friend and I was really close to her daughter, and we're not really close anymore. And it's just really hurt me. And I'm sure it's really hurt her. Like that's one of the things that actually has kept me in friendships way longer than I should have, because I have a close attachment to their kid. And so I think anybody who is close to your kid and coming out of the life is traumatic in a way. I don't think it has to be a romantic partner. It's whoever loves your kid. Like if you and Kail were to stop talking tomorrow, Creed and all the kids would be affected. It's the same thing. Do you know what I mean?
I would agree. No, I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I just was curious to see what your thoughts were surrounding the whole thing.
End of the day, just be a good fucking person and don't like there's just such bad parents out there that put their kids in like such awful positions and like use their kid as like bait in arguments and bait in relationships, and it's really frustrating to see. So at the end of the day, if you're a good person and you're not putting harm in front of the way of your kid, I think that there's worse things. Do I always agree with it? No, but like I don't agree with a lot of shit.
My kids didn't know who it was.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like to this day, I mean, you literally heard Elliot say, like, you did? Like that's who it was? Like he didn't know.
Yeah.
He didn't know. Not saying it's okay, just saying like,
what do I know? I don't have any kids.
Just saying. Where can people find you? Tell us where they can download and subscribe to For the Haters podcast, and let us know.
You can find me at Hater25 on all forms of social media. Follow along the mini vlogs. I'm about to be a mom. I might be a mom by the time this comes out. Who knows?
Well,
listen to For the Haters. For the Haters, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. If you are listening right now, go right now to Spotify, Apple, follow For the Haters, turn your notification on. Just give her a listen. Yeah, listen, subscribe, tag a friend, go follow them on Instagram, and we'll see you guys next week. Love ya.